morning, everyone. Today is March 30th, 2026, and this is another live trading session. We have the same three pairs that we've been looking at on our list. We can first start off by looking at our news sentiment. We know that today we don't have any high impact news until 9:30 when Fed Chair Powell speaks. So we will be waiting for that news event to see what volume and what news is to come in the market, especially since we know that we have a heavy news week this week with Wednesday being ISMs and then Friday being NFP here. And then if we look at our sentiment for a perspective of what each asset class is doing, we know first we have Dow 30, which the Dow 30 has opened as overbearingly bullish. We then have NASDAQ, which the NASDAQ has opened as, again, almost similar to US 30, being overbearingly bullish. And then lastly, we're going to have gold. Give me 1 second. So yeah, like I was saying, lastly, we're going to have gold. And gold, as we can see, the sentiment came out as bullish for gold as well. So if we go back to our actual charts and we look what is going on, again, we just had those bearish or those bullish sentiments come out. But as we can see on NASDAQ, we had this candle here at 625, which wicked higher, and that is what has created the current high of the day. And then you have this price action sweep here at 1245, which is what created the low of the day. So this is the current high to low range that we are sitting in. We next have MYM, which again is US 30. And we know that US 30, again, same exact kind of premise as what NASDAQ is doing. 625 here has now created a high of the day. From that high of the day, we also know that down here at 12 o'clock, we had an opening candle that created the low of the day. And so this is the range from high to low that we're sitting in here. And again, that US 30 sentiment did come out as bullish as well. And lastly, we have gold, which we know that from a higher time frame perspective, gold has already taken out a previous high of the week. So this high that was created on Tuesday, we know that the price action through London and pre-New York has already taken out this high. We've not had this consolidation profile from a 15-minute time frame. And if we drop down to a 5-minute time frame, we know that, again, here's 8:30 opening, and we are stuck between this high of the day and this low of the day currently. So that is basically everything that we're looking for right now. And yeah, again, I will keep you guys updated on anything else that goes on. Gold is the only thing that we're really looking at for today. Gold still has a bullish premise, and so therefore what I am looking for is there is a 1 hour bullish fair value gap here on gold. We have, what, 4 minutes and 29 seconds left in this candle, but we already know that this 845 candle had closed bearish below this. So this is now starting to kind of invalidate my buy side premise. And so now, again, we'll kind of just wait to see what it does, because ideally I would want to see this 1 hour be held and then candles start to stack themselves in order to create bullish momentum back to this high of the day. And then we have NASDAQ, which what I was talking about before, we're in between the low and the high. NASDAQ sentiment for today is still bullish. That hasn't changed. The only thing with NASDAQ is the fact that, again, the opening price range tried to swing higher and then has now just been bearish price action ever since then. And so what I was also marking out before is if we take the high and low of the range, again, I'm just taking the bodies of the candles from the low of the day to the high of the day. We know that, again, we've already broken 50% of the range, which is a consequent encouragement, and we've broken that with significant momentum to the downside. While breaking that with significant momentum to the downside, we know that this was our first objective for sell side, which is already taken. We know that this here was our second objective for sell side, which was now just taken now. And so if we clean the charts up a little bit, we know that our last place and where we're most likely going for the day would be this low of the day in order to complete the price range. And then we have US 30, which again, US 30 is trying to kind of mirror what NASDAQ is doing. Same exact thing. We take low and high. We know that we've already swept into 50% of the range. We want to see how we're going to react to this 50% point. However, we know if we're going to we know that if we are going to continue bearish, we're going to take this low. And then if we're going to continue past that, again, these relative equal lows here would be our next target. And then lastly, we would be looking for low of the day to be our final objective. But yeah, that is basically everything we're looking for right now. Still very heavily just focused on gold, trying to see what it's going to do today. But that is the main thing that we are actually looking at for this session. Basically, the overview of today, there's not very much going on or much that we care about at this point. NASDAQ has already taken the low of the day, so objective is complete. We're not really worried about anything other than the fact that 830 created a bearish 15-minute fair value gap. We're waiting for price to pull back into that, and we're either going to break through this and attack high of the day, or we're going to hold this and continue to trade lower. We then have US 30. We know US 30 is in between high and low of the day. It's also at 50% of high and low of the day. So we're not really in any specific trending model to be going towards that high of the day or that low of the day. Also with US 30, we know that from a 15-minute time frame, there isn't really much here other than the fact that internal liquidity was taken. And if we go back to our lower time frame, we know that realistically speaking, this is probably going to want to continue to stack itself lower, given that NQ already attacked the low of the day. We would want to see US 30 attack the low of the day too to complete the model. And then lastly, we have gold, which again, gold is kind of in no man's land now. We know we had a bullish FVG that was created at 6 a.m. Bullish FVG was now closed below. We now know that we have, again, down close price action here. But once again, if we just take the range of what gold is doing, we know that we are sitting inside the 50% area. So until we make any significant candle moves towards the downside, either breaking this low or towards the upside, breaking this bullish fair value gap, or breaking this bearish fair value gap, and then stacking on top of each other, that would give us more confirmation that we were either going towards that high of the day or that low of the day. But that is currently everything that we're looking at. Okay, so it is now 9:33. This is probably going to be the second to last update of this session. But as we had talked about earlier, we have news that just came out. Fed Powell is about to speak here at 9:30. And so on my other screen, I have that pulled up to see what he is going to talk about this morning. If we look at the objectives for today, we know gold has not quite reached its high or low of the day objective, but we know that it broke this 1 hour fair value gap and is now starting to, again, it's just consolidating. So we would need to see some form of momentum either to the upside or to the downside. And then again, we don't really care about what NASDAQ's doing anymore. Low of the day objective is already taken out, so this is off of our list. And then US 30 is in a bit of no man's land. Again, with the 15-minute and the hourly, we know that we had swept lower time frame internal liquidity. And then after sweeping that internal liquidity, we have now balanced the price range here. And so again, just looking at it from a lower time frame perspective, ideally we would want to see it reach the low of the day since NASDAQ already completed that objective, but we don't really know what it's going to do. So again, I'm just going to sit on my hands. We have 25 minutes left in the session. I don't think we're going to get anything today. However, I'll continue to let this play out for the rest of what happens today. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We just lost internet, so I was trying to reset that, but as y'all can see, still nothing going on. So this is going to conclude today's live trading session. As we can see, this is another day that just shows when to sit on our hands and when to know how to dictate low probable market conditions. But yeah, no trades for us today. We will let this run for the rest of the day. We will be back tomorrow for Tuesday's New York session. The only thing we have left for this week is Tuesday and Thursday, since Friday is NFP day and we do not trade Wednesdays. But yeah, aside from that, I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully market conditions are better and we have more volume.